Hello and welcome. I'm Kenzie.
And I'm Carli, and this is Ask a Therapist.
Each week, we explore life's most relatable questions, from relationships and boundaries to burnout and self-worth, all through a therapist's lens.
We're licensed therapists, but this isn't therapy. It's a place for insight, reflection, and a little humor along the way.
Your questions,
our insights.
Ask a Therapist. This podcast is intended for entertainment and educational purposes only. The content shared should not be considered a substitute for professional mental health care, diagnosis, or treatment. We strongly encourage listeners to seek help from a licensed mental health professional for any personal or psychological concerns.
Any advice or commentary offered is based solely on the information provided. As such, we cannot guarantee any specific outcomes, and the feedback given should not be interpreted as professional mental health advice. If you are experiencing a mental health crisis, please call 911, 988, or 211.
Hello, everyone. My name is Kenzie. I am a licensed professional counselor in the state of Connecticut.
And I am Carli. I'm a licensed marriage and family therapist in Connecticut, Pennsylvania, and Florida. We really thought that it would be a good idea just to introduce ourselves, let you get to know a little bit about who we are and why we're doing this podcast. So Kenzie, since this was initially your idea, please tell us, what were you thinking when you came up with this idea? Because we know the world needs another podcast for sure, but what were your thoughts?
Yes. My first thought was there just aren't enough podcasts out there. So let's go ahead and put another one. But no, I mean, so my initial thoughts in like wanting to start this podcast, I think that's something that I've recognized a lot in being a therapist is that there's so much shared human experience that does not get talked about because there's so much like worry and fear and shame associated with it. And so I kind of had the idea of, you know, how could we normalize some of this stuff a little bit more, or just kind of like put some of our experience of what we see or how we interpret things as therapists on a more broad platform. And so that was, you know, my hope of like, here's a little bit inside the therapist's mind and what we do, how we approach cases, and how, you know, just a lot of people can kind of get that understanding and hear and listen to some of that insight. And hopefully it's something that people can resonate with and feel good about. And when I had the idea to do this, my initial thought was, I need to ask Carli to do it with me. Carli and I have worked together. She has been a supervisor at a practice that I was in. And truly, like, some of the best insight that I've ever heard. And so it was automatic thought of wanting you to join. So what were your thoughts? What was your first impression? What do you want people to be able to take from this?
Yeah, so my initial thought, of course, I was flattered that you would want me to be a part of it. But yeah, I really like the idea of making therapeutic concepts like accessible and showing a little bit of the behind the scenes of how we approach cases and like how we go about even considering what direction we take with clients, like what we're thinking when we're maybe asking a particular question.
Yeah.
And I just like the idea of people being able to ask questions without actually engaging in therapy. It's like a
Sure.
little more informal, a little less pressure. But also,
Yeah.
I do hope that it encourages people to consider seeking out professional help, especially if in asking the question they realize like, oh, there's more that I could unpack here, or this might be something that I want to, dig deeper into. So my hope is that it normalizes the therapeutic process, that it
Yeah.
normalizes us as therapists and humanizes us, and just, we are flawed and that's a part of it. So I'm sure plenty of that will show here. But yeah, it just seemed like something that I would be interested to watch and listen to. So I hope maybe at least a handful of other people would too.
Yeah, I completely agree. I hope that people resonate with this. I hope they feel the same. I hope that they hear questions and they're like, oh my gosh, that's how I feel too. And maybe that is something that I can bring into therapy, or I can seek mental health services around. And, yeah, just to feel kind of validated and normalized. And absolutely to your point about us being human as well, like this will be a little bit of an insight into us as therapists and how we sometimes, like, our thought process behind it and just the human and relational aspect of it too.
For sure. Can I just add, I also am nervous about this because I know that it's going to be a learning process for us. But
100%.
part of my agreement to do this is me leaning into areas of growth and areas where I feel uncomfortable. And
Yeah.
so part of my motivation is also to model what it's like to be okay jumping in and sometimes getting it wrong and getting messy, but then
Yeah.
learning from it. And so
Yeah.
I think a lot of that is going to happen in real time. And so I'm nervous about it, but also excited to see what comes from it.
I echo that 100%. I hope that whoever is listening to this, I hope that you feel that community feel. I hope you know that we're, in this with you, we're navigating it with you. And I hope that um that you get something from it, we get something from it, and then we all kind of learn and grow together.
We hope that you all will follow along and maybe learn something along the way. We look forward to hearing from you.
That's it for today's episode. We hope it gave you something to reflect on, or maybe even that aha moment.
If so, you know the drill. Rate, review, subscribe, and don't forget to text it to the group chat. Remember, sharing is caring.
Got a question you want us to tackle? Big or small, we want to hear it.
Email us or slide into our DMs on Instagram at askatherapist_pod.
You bring the questions.
We'll bring the insight and probably a metaphor or two.
This is Ask a Therapist.
See you next time.